Gone are the days of confusing investing platforms, thanks to investing apps like Webull and Robinhood. And if you're trying to choose between Robinhood and Webull, you're probably hearing the same thing everywhere. They're basically the same, but after using both platforms for years, I can tell you that's not actually true. And depending on how you invest, picking the wrong one could actually make your investment journey much harder than it needs to be. And that's why this video is titled, Don't Make This Mistake. I've been using both of these apps since 2020, and that's well over 5 years now. And over the last 5 years, both have improved a lot, but also made things more difficult in certain aspects that we'll talk about in today's video. And by the end of this video, you'll have everything you need to make the best decision for you, and I'll give you my final verdict of which app is better through my scorecard. Starting off with section 1, the similarities of Webull and Robinhood. Here is the updated details that you should know. First, both are completely free to download. All you got to do, go over to the Google Play Store, go over to the App Store, and simply download them. Second, they both offer incentives to you when you get started. Typically, it's a free share of stock. For example, Robinhood currently gives you a slice of stock valued between $5 and $200 when you get started. Webull offers matches or free stocks depending on the promotion that they're running. And you can get the best deal if you're interested, totally up to you, by checking out the links in the description below or scanning either QR code on the screen. Third, they both have commission-free trades. This means that you do not have to pay to buy or sell investments at all in most cases. And Robinhood was really the pioneer of this method, which now finally most brokerages are adopting. Years ago, you used to have to pay a commission of $5, $10, maybe even more for every single time that you bought or sold an order. It's super expensive over time. So with the commission-free trades, that makes it easy. Webull and Robinhood do not charge you for this effort, which is absolutely great. They also both have no minimum deposits needed. So you can get started with as little as you'd like, especially if you're just starting off with your investment journey for the first time. Fourth, they both offer app or desktop versions. Robinhood was actually late to this game. Believe it or not, they just recently introduced Robinhood Legend, which gives you more in-depth charts and research tools from the power of your laptop or desktop computer. Webull has had an app for honestly as long as I can remember, and I've used their desktop version for at least 5 years. Honestly though, personally, I use the apps right here on my phone a lot more than the desktop versions, but again, it's totally up to you. Fifth, similarity, they both offer fractional shares. This is a big deal. So fractional shares are great if you're new. Let's take the Apple stock as an example. Without fractional shares, you'd have to save up enough money to buy a full share of Apple. And let me take a look right now. To buy a full share of Apple, which is currently going for right around $256 as of the recording of this video. But let's say you only have $10 to invest, as an example. You couldn't buy Apple stock in the past, but now with Webull and Robinhood, you can. So fractional shares you can buy with your $10 as an example and receive a fraction of the Apple share. Now, as the Apple price goes up or down, your $10 will automatically adjust along with it, just as a full share would as well. If your stock that you bought pays a dividend, you will get a dividend payout for the fraction of the share that you own. This makes it so easy, especially if you're just starting off. The sixth similarity, they both offer recurring investments. Hey, this is a great way to get started and forget about your portfolio. Literally set and forget. If you're new to my channel, I invest $5 a day into the S&P 500. And I do this automatically by setting up a recurring investment. I have a how-to video on how to do that entire thing in both apps that I'll include a link in the description below if you're interested in setting that up and learning a little bit more about recurring investments. But that is a great similarity. And let's move on to the seventh. Both offer crypto trading. If that's your jam, it's pretty straightforward. If you're a crypto trader, both apps are going to take very good care of you. Eighth, both offer margin if you're interested in that. Now, that is more of an advanced intermediate type of tactic. I don't recommend margin. That basically means that you're taking out a loan from the brokerage and having to pay interest on it. And that could either work in your favor or completely work against you. But just know that that's available. They also offer options, IPO, and futures, and other advanced trading strategies. We'll dig into a little bit more of that later in this video. Ninth, they both offer beneficiaries. Hold on, stop a second. Everybody should do this right now. If you have either one of these apps, it doesn't matter even if you don't have these apps. If you have a brokerage, set up a beneficiary. God willing, if you pass away, you want to make sure your money goes to somebody that you care about. With either of these, go set up your beneficiary. Name who that person is. So if you do pass away, that money automatically just goes to them without probate and shenanigans and weirdness. Just make it easy. They both offer it. 10th and last for the similarities, both offer IRA accounts. Now, these individual retirement accounts are great if you don't already have a retirement account set up. And what's even better is that they both offer a 1% contribution match, which is something that no other major brokerage offers at this time. There is a way to earn more than the 1% match that we'll get to once we talk about that in the differences section. But before we get to the differences, let's check out section number 2, the apps of Webull and Robinhood. Both of these apps, as you see on the screen right now, offer light mode or dark mode. And I got a question. What mode do you like better for your apps? Comment down below. And please do not hate me, but I'm actually kind of a light mode kind of guy. Well, actually, I should say on Robinhood, I actually opt for market hours. That option means that when the market is open, my app is in light mode. But when the market is closed, the app goes into dark mode, which is kind of cool. And for Webull, I just keep it on the light mode. Other than that, you can see the interfaces are pretty similar in a sense. However, Robinhood, right from the home screen, gives you a graph that shows you how your portfolio grows or maybe not grows over the years. And to see this in Webull, all you had to do, click on the detail on that top right-hand side right there, which takes you over to the graph, and you can see pretty much the same thing that you see on the home screen of Robinhood. Now, before we dig too far into the app layouts, let's talk about section number 3, and this is the big one, the differences between both of these apps. All right, first, let's start with the locations available. So Webull is going to be available in a lot more places. If you live in the United States, Hong Kong, Singapore, Australia, South Africa, Japan, Canada, Thailand, Indonesia, Brazil, Mexico, UK, and the Netherlands. That's a long list of places that Webull is available. Robinhood, on the other hand, isn't as widely available. Only available in the United States and the United Kingdom. If you live, however, in the European Union, you can use Robinhood for crypto trading only and tokenized US stocks and ETFs. So it's a little bit limited there. Really, at the end of the day, the app in its holistic form is only available to US and UK. If that changes at all, I'll update the pinned comment on this video if either one of these apps expand to more countries. Second, paper trading is a big difference. People love this option in Webull. Ultimately, what this does is it lets you trade with fake play money to see how you can do. You can trade stocks, you can trade options, and not have to worry about losing your hard-earned money. Of course, the issue is here, if you do make a massive profit in the paper section, you don't get to keep any of the money, obviously. But even though you can enjoy this awesome feature in Webull, believe it or not, Robinhood, they do not have paper trading available. And while you can simulate returns with Robinhood Legend, the desktop app, I'm surprised that Robinhood doesn't allow paper trading in their app since they're so beginner friendly. So again, if that ever changes, I'll update you in the comments of this video. But if you kind of value that, if you want the paper trading option, Webull outranks Robinhood easily in this particular difference. Third, trading times, which has changed recently significantly. This is news. Let's start with Webull. They offer 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time trading hours, which is called extended hours trading. What this means for beginners, the stock market is usually open from Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Webull lets you take advantage of the pre- and post-markets by placing limit orders on any stocks or ETFs you'd like to trade. This is helpful if you're a trader who likes to take advantage of news or global happenings that may help you if you buy or sell outside of the larger standard market hours. Robinhood, on the other hand, just introduced something very interesting: 24-hour trading. Now, let's move on to the fourth difference. This is a big one, big question that I get a lot, and that's the premium upgrades on both of these apps. So both of these apps, they want more of your money. Let's be honest. After all, being free to download, having commission-free trades, that's a great benefit to you. So, they want to increase their revenue by giving you opportunities to spend more money with them through the premium upgrades. But there is a big difference between the two of these options. So Robinhood Gold is the name of Robinhood's premium version. Webull, well, it's simply called Webull Premium. Robinhood Gold costs $5 per month, and Webull Premium is cheaper at only $3.99 a month or $40 for a yearly subscription. These prices can all change, so be sure to check using the links below to verify the price at the time that you're watching this video. But as of the recording of this video, those are the prices. Now, let's go back to what we talked about earlier in the video, the IRA match. With Robinhood Gold, if you open an individual retirement account, for all of your contributions, Robinhood Gold members enjoy a 3% match on their contributions. And this is honestly huge. This is a big, I love that they do this. And, what I'll call the old school brokerages, they don't offer this on an IRA at all. So hats off for starting this really cool option. I love it. Webull Premium, though, believe it or not, and a lot of people don't know this, they're even better. They offer a 3.5% match on their IRAs, therefore beating Robinhood Gold both in the match percentage as well as the cost per month to upgrade. Because, they got to take some of that share of Robinhood. So they're going to give you a little bit more and charge you a little bit less. But in the same lens as Gold and Premium accounts, this is actually a really good time to talk about cash yield. Now, this is for anything, not just the IRA. This is if you even just have a normal taxable brokerage account with either one of these apps. If you have uninvested cash, which is common, you transfer money in and maybe you're waiting to buy investments, or you put money in and you have it set up on a recurring investment, you can earn interest on that uninvested cash that's sitting in your buying power. Now, let's talk first about the free accounts before we talk about the premium accounts. For free accounts, both Robinhood and Webull offer a hilariously low APY. Don't get excited about this. Robinhood offers 0.01% of uninvested cash for free. Stupid. I mean, it's cute, I guess, but it really doesn't add up to much. I mean, whatever. Webull, however, offers 0.5%, slightly higher, still hilariously low, but there is a catch in a good way. It's slightly higher if you have $25,000 or more in the Webull app totally. Invested assets and everything. If you have a free account, $25,000 or more, they will increase that to a whopping 3.25%. That's a big difference. That's actually very cool. Huge win over Robinhood because you don't have to upgrade. You could do that on a free account, get your account balanced to $25,000 or more, and now any uninvested cash earns 3.25%. That's really good. And again, this is all as of the recording of this video. APYs adjust as the markets overall and the banks and everything adjust. So just know that these numbers may be different when you watch the video. But now, if you upgrade to the premium accounts, Robinhood Gold will pay 3.5% automatically no matter what. Doesn't matter how big your account is, 3.5% if you're a Gold subscriber. Webull Premium will pay, it's got to be a little bit more, right? 3.6%. if you have the premium account. So not bad. I mean, that's a nice thing to have. But let's now talk about the difference outside of premium upgrades. And that is if you want to transfer your stocks out of either one of these apps into another brokerage. For example, let's say you want to take all your stocks and ETFs, transfer them out of Robinhood to Fidelity, or you want to transfer out of Webull to Charles Schwab or something like that. That does cost money in both of these apps to transfer your assets, your stocks and ETFs out to another brokerage. So for Webull, this fee is $75 if you want to do that. For Robinhood, the fee is a whopping $100. So please keep that in mind. Now, I'm just going to say this, unless you have a really good reason to want to transfer your assets out, I really don't see where this is a great option, but at least it's available if you ever need it and you want to consolidate, put everything in one brokerage house. That's perfectly fine. Just know you're going to get hit with a little bit of a fee. Now, before we rank these two apps, head to head, let's talk about something important on either one of these apps that actually really scare people. And I get a lot of questions, a lot of comments about it. When you go to sign up to either Webull or to Robinhood, they will ask you to enter your social security number or country resident number. And sometimes they'll also ask you to upload a photo of your ID. And this scares people and they wonder why they're asking all of these type of things. Well, this is to avoid identity fraud and scammers. Unfortunately, there's way too many scammers in the world and we got to deal with it. In addition, for social security numbers, they require you to input your social security as they are required by law to report any gains and profits that you earn on your investing to the IRS for tax reporting purposes. This is commonplace for all brokerages, no matter who you go with. But it's an important note to understand because especially if you're starting off, you hop on, you're like, wait, why do you need this information? It's actually a law. It's required by the IRS. They got to do that. All right, let's move on to section 4. Which app is best for you. And we're going to bring up the scorecard. I'm not just going to say, it depends. I'm actually going to rank them based on my own opinion. And then what I want you to do is take this scorecard, and then I want you to comment down below with any of the areas you agree or disagree with, and ultimately make your best decision on what app you like best. Or you can be like me and get them both. I mean, yeah, it's up to you. So we're going to start with the category, and then we're going to announce the winner. First up on deck, ease of use. Which one is easier to use? The winner by far is going to be Robinhood. And here's why. Because when you first get started, there are a lot of advanced features in Webull that scare people. They look through it and they're like, okay, whoa, this, and then there's that. I mean, when you go to buy a stock on Robinhood, let's say, for example, we're going to go back to the Apple example, and you want to buy the Apple stock. All you have to do is go in to Apple, hit buy, I want to put like $5 or $10, whatever it is in, swipe up, and you bought the stock. Easy as that. The Webull order screen is a little bit more advanced. And so for a new person, that's a little bit tricky to learn. So that's why Robinhood wins ease of use. Now let's move on to the trading tools. Well, this one again, by far, is actually going to go to Webull. And the reason that Webull wins this one by far is their trading tools, as I kind of alluded to in the ease of use. I mean, it's just so expansive. One thing that I always like about Webull a lot is it grows with you. So even though it may seem a little bit more difficult to use if you're a beginner, the one thing that's nice about it is if you decide to learn more and you get into investing and you start saying, oh, I've learned about this and I learned about that, you can then apply those things that you learn, that you get passionate about in Webull. And that includes all of the different trading tools that are available, sometimes for free and sometimes for a very low cost if you upgrade to premium and things like that. But being able to have something grow with you instead of having like a ceiling to it where you got to say, okay, I want to try to do this, but maybe the user interface isn't as advanced as I need it to be, that can actually hold you back in Robinhood. I mean, I don't think it's a big thing to say, well, that's the only reason to take Webull. But if you want to learn a lot and you want an app that's going to grow with you, that's just something that you need to keep in mind. And that's why I gave Webull the winning category of trading tools. All right, IRA features. Now, if this was a mere couple months ago, quite honestly, this would have had a very easy answer. But right now, I hate to give you this rating because I know this is kind of an annoying one, but the rating is going to be a complete and utter tie. Just because it's so hard for me to sit here and say, well, I think Webull, just because they offer just like a slight bit more percentage, whatever, forget it. At the end of the day, they both offer a match. If we were comparing Webull and Robinhood to things like Charles Schwab, Fidelity, etc., Webull and Robinhood would kick all of their butts because they offer that awesome match. I mean, what an incredible marketing strategy for both of these brokerages to give you that benefit for doing something and investing in your future. That's huge. So I can't sit here and say one's better than the other. I would love your opinion though. If you think one is better than the other, drop it down below in the comments. But I'm going to stick here on the middle of the fence and call it a tie. Let's move on to the next one, which is the category of paper trading and learning so you can grow. I mean, if you watch the beginning part of this video, you're going to know right away the winner is going to be Webull because Robinhood doesn't offer it, which again blows my face off. Why a beginner's app would not offer something like paper trading. It's just such an easy way to learn and play around with fake money to say, okay, let me see how the user interface works. Let me see how it feels to buy and to sell and to screw up. I mean, there's a lot of beauty in that. And then that way, as you learn more, you can then say, okay, I feel more confident because I played around with the actual system and now I can invest my hard-earned money and try to figure out how to do this because I've learned with the paper trading. So hats off to Webull. If Robinhood's watching this, guys, come on, get with it. Just it's got to be easy to implement that into your app. And if they ever do, I'll drop a comment down below with the update. Long-term investing. Which one of these is better for long-term investing? This one's hard. And I actually expect a lot of you to maybe disagree with this. I'm going to have to give the winner of this particular category to Robinhood. Why? Because if I think about the general public, the big sea of people, it's going to be easy long-term to understand how Robinhood works. It's going to be easier to use the ease of use, as we looked at earlier. It's just something that, like, if you're a beginner and you just plan on, look, I don't want to learn all that weird stuff about investing. I just want to put in my money, set up a plan, make it boring, which is actually fantastic. That's how you get very wealthy, and then just let it do its thing. that's where it's just easy. You don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to go through confusing stuff. It's just there for you, and long term, it'll serve you. So that's the best part. And by the way, both of these apps are completely safe. They're both members of the SIPC, which means that if either one of these brokerages ever goes out of business, your assets are protected up to $500,000 per brokerage. They have these protections to them, which is wonderful. But I have a question for you. Is there something that I missed? And do you have additional questions that maybe I didn't answer in between both of these apps? If you do, drop those questions down below. I try to do my best to keep after all the comments and answer your questions. But now it's time to choose your own adventure. So right over here is my full Robinhood tutorial. It'll take you through all the details you need to know. Over here is the full Webull tutorial. If you're into that, you can learn all about Webull. And here's some other cool finance videos that you should check out next. Keep building your Sharpe money, and we'll see you on the next video.